This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News, joined by Matt Macklin here in Saudi Arabia. Matt, busy one tonight, a late one, something we should be used to now. You just had the chance there to speak to Beterbiev and Beterbiev-Bivol. Neither man have really said much this week. Did you get anything else out of them?
Not really. Look, I think what it is with them, they're just quite matter of fact. You know what I mean? They don't try and overhype anything. They just see it very logical. You know, they both kind of, they just said, look, I'm in the best shape I can be in. I'm going to fight the best I can. I don't know who wins, only God knows, you know what I mean? But all I know is I'm going to perform the best I can perform, and I believe that will be enough to get the win, but we don't know, and that's obviously spot on, isn't it? You know, but obviously fans and television want to hear a person go, no, I know I'm going to win. And you want them to believe that, and they do believe it, but they just know that it's impossible to actually state a fact in the future.
Matt, when you look at this fight, who do you give that edge to? Has your opinion changed the way that everybody else's has?
Not really. I edge towards Beterbiev, and I probably did that. The Billam-Smith fight really kind of cemented it for me, because I honestly believed Billam-Smith could get that win. You know what I mean? I did, and I knew Beterbiev was top draw. Don't get me wrong, but I know Callum's a top fighter, and it wasn't that he beat Callum, but it was sort of the manner at which he beat him, and I was like, wow, he's better, a lot better than I thought he was. And listen, Bivol's really good too, and a total different style. The thing is with Beterbiev is he's a bit like Golovkin. He's not just a big puncher. He's not just physically very strong. He's actually also very, very good, very clever, brilliant feet, master ring generalmanship. You know, he just manoeuvres you around the ring, paces it well, drains you. You know, all these things, a lot of the things that he does so well that you probably can't see. You know, it's going on in here. And he does carry that power, you know. So, yeah, Bivol's really good at what he does, but he's going to be exerting more because of the threat, the knockout power threat that Beterbiev possesses. It's natural that you're boxing someone like that. You're gonna burn more nervous energy. You're gonna react quicker. There's gonna be more urgency to your movements, and he's very good at sort of like making you work hard early door and winning rounds, but not really doing that much. You know, Beterbiev, he's conserving early doors because he wants to push on late on when he's already drained your battery. So, look, Bivol, it's a funny one because most of my mates and people who I speak to in boxing they know what they're looking at. They're good. You know, we chat for hours on it, and nearly all of them they're going with Bivol. You know, I'm sticking to my guns and I'm going with Beterbiev, but I don't really know. You know, it's one of those fights, isn't it? Whoever you speak to, everyone's got a different opinion. They're both absolute top-notch fighters, and for me, in my opinion, this is the best fight that could be made in boxing now in any weight division.
Most people would agree with you on that last sentiment, especially Matt. Obviously, on the undercard, we see Wardley-Clarke too. That fight gets run back. Both men supremely confident. Again, who do you feel like will maybe come out on top or edge it? How do you see this one unfolding in comparison to what we saw previously?
So, look, they both had to go to the well last time, and they both had never been there. So going into this second fight, they both know that could happen again, that they could end up there. I think both will try and hold off that as long as they can. You know, I think both of them, Wardley had never been past 6, and Frazier had been 10 rounds, but against Marius Fack, who came to survive, that's very different, 10 rounds, to being in a competitive fight where you're being hit with big shots and, the pace, you're not in control of the pace at times, then at times you're on top. So that's a lot more energy sapping. So they've both got that experience under their belt this time. I think both will try and hold off getting there as long as they possibly can and try and win rounds early and conserve energy so they've got it later on. That will be the plan. Now, whether it unfolds like that, that's another story, because I think the guy who feels like it's not going his plan early on will look to sort of step on the gas and force the pace.
moving away from this, but sticking with the theme of the heavyweight division, obviously one of the big talking points at the minute is, do we see Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois 2, or Daniel Dubois, Anthony Joshua 2 next? All the talk seems to be that will be the case when that be is not yet known. But do you think it's the right move? Do you believe it's the right move for Anthony Joshua to go step back into this? When I've spoken to pundits, boxers, everyone says AJ can win the rematch, but very few are actually picking him to do so. A lot of people see a similar dominant performance from Daniel Dubois second time round.
Yeah, look, of course AJ could win it. He's a massive puncher. The only thing, well, I think it's a harder fight than what the first one should have been in his mind, was that you've got a Daniel Dubois who has always been a good fighter. I think a couple of times confidence, self-belief, psychologically hasn't necessarily always hasn't matched his ability. There's been self-doubt there. And I think that's why I thought that, and I said it previous to the fight, going into it, that the Miller fight and the Hrgovic fight were really important coming into the AJ fight to give him that he's almost turned that corner in terms of self-doubt, self-belief, and his confidence was good. He was still an underdog, but a live underdog. You know, next time he'll be a strong favourite. You know, not many people get better at 34. You know, almost nobody. And Dubois 27. You know, now he's like got all the highs and lows of his career, and he's put it all came together for him on the biggest night of his career. His belief is just going to go to another level completely. AJ, you know, was coming in with 2 good wins, albeit against lesser opposition, but nonetheless he was confident going in, and he had those 2 wins were with a new trainer, so he had confidence in his trainer. Now, I don't believe it's not Ben Davison's fault that he got beaten. Of course it is, and he got caught with a big shot in the first round, and in my opinion they didn't really recover. But it's gone round, hasn't it, that he gave him advice in the corner, and Shane McGuigan said, no, he might get caught with a chop short right hand if he's throwing an uppercut. So, you know, he might, if he stays with Ben Davison, he might have doubt in Ben Davison. If he doesn't stay with Ben Davison, then he's got to go with a new trainer who he's never walked the walk with before. So all that, you put all that together, and whatever way it goes, if he stays with him or he doesn't, he's going to go into a fight against someone that knocked him out last time with somebody hasn't necessarily got the confidence in that guy that he should have. So I don't think it's not beyond possibility, but I think it's not probable that he wins a rematch.
How much, and you mentioned, you know, Shane McGuigan's comments during the fight and how he called the 5th round, the way it played out. How much more has that impacted the overall feeling and thoughts around that fight, because he was able to see it and predict it, and to AJ's detriment, to the team's detriment, it came out to be spot on? How much do you think that's affected everyone's thoughts since? In
regard to what?
In terms of just the overall outcome and kind of doubting AJ and putting more doubts around Ben and their link up for Shane to have called that.
Yeah, I think it could. If you're AJ, you know what I mean. You might be thinking, well, I was listening to. Yeah, I thought AJ had good confidence in Ben going into the fight, because why wouldn't he? He had 2 fights with him and he had 2 good wins, so he'd believed in everything he said. Now, you want to believe in what your trainer said. You want to have that confidence in your trainer that if he says throw 10 uppercuts, you're going to throw 10 left hooks, you're going to throw them. Even if it doesn't make sense to you, you want to have that belief in the trainer, because you're in there and he's on the outside looking. He can see things you can't see. Obviously, that's been blown up, the advice he gave him, and obviously it played out that way, didn't it? So, I'm just, AJ could obviously now, if he was going in, is he going to doubt Ben's advice next time? You don't want to be in that situation, but also, he's also, okay, he got that wrong. He's got a lot of things right, you know, with AJ. So on balance, he said, well, he got that one thing wrong, but it was a big thing. But he's got loads of things right, and I was happy with him. But when it comes down to it, is he gonna believe what he tells him in the corner with absolute confidence, or does he think, okay, that was wrong advice, and now I'm going to go with a new trainer? But then he goes with a new trainer. He's got to, you know what I mean? He's got to go through all that again, and then you got to build up the confidence in the new trainer. And I don't know. It's probably not a great situation for AJ. It's not a great, that dilemma.
Just some fights I do want to get your thoughts on the horizon. Azim Davies next week. How does it play out?
I think you have to say Azim. You know, I think he's the young guy on the up. Looked very good, very fast, got good power, good boxing ability. You know, O'Hara's obviously coming off a loss, first round knockout defeat, but he is dangerous. He's awkward. He's got long arms. He can crack. So it's a potential banana skin, but I don't see it. I think Azim will be too good, too sharp, too quick, too fresh, everything.
Week after that, up in Manchester, Jack Catterall, Regis Prograis. Again, how does that one unfold?
Good fight, really good fight. I think Prograis was really good a few years back, and then he just went off the boil. But he's good. He's a nice boxer. If he's still got it, obviously Catterall's, you'd say, he's been more active and more current, and so I think you got to make Catterall favourite.
And of course, we see Chris Billam-Smith back here in Saudi against Ramirez. Do you make Chris favourite in that fight?
Don't know. Tough. It's a good fight. It's a good fight. It's a tough fight for both of them.
Who do you favour though?
Well, I hope Billam-Smith wins. So yeah, I'll pick him. Being biased.
And then just a final one, at the end of November, Sonny Edwards, Galal fight, amateur rivals coming together in pro ranks. Again, what happens in Birmingham?
Tough, you know, that's like a crossroads fight, isn't it? Sonny Edwards obviously more experienced, been there, but he's probably on the downslide now in his career. And obviously Galal, Olympic gold medalist. You know, he's not young, but in terms of pro career young, he's fresher, isn't he? So I think you got to pick Galal as the favourite.
Well, Matt, I appreciate your time. I know the team's leaving you, so I don't want you to get left behind. Thanks for speaking to me. I'm sure you see you for the rest of this week.
Yeah, cheers, nice one.